However, there hadn't been the slightest sign that this dream would be fulfilled, and by now, Kara had given up hope. After all, she was nearly 40. She had started to wonder if they should think of adoption. Well, that decision was for a less hectic day. First things first. Kara made a slow walk through the downstairs, but her mind couldn't seem to stay in one place. She kept thinking of Paris and how it had been for them. Lost in thoughts of the past, she did not hear the back door open or Kip's footsteps. He had left his boots outside and was in his stocking feet. He came up behind where she was standing, encircled her waist, and kissed her cheek. Startled, she twisted around and pushed him a little away, saying, "You scared me, sneaking up on me like that." "I live here," he said in mock protest. "Can't I walk into my own house, kiss my own wife?" Trying to recover her composure, she asked, "Where's Luke?" "With Nicky. They're feeding the ducks," he told her and released her. "You'd better shower and change," she said. "I'm not sure when Kitty will get here." Kip started toward the stairway and then turned back. "Oh, by the way, Bo and Tim are coming for supper." Kara bit back the words she had almost flung at him. "Why didn't you let me know?" It was, after all, Kip's home. He could invite whomever he wanted here. She just wished... Then she remembered she had put in a roast earlier. Having dinner guests just meant cutting up more vegetables, potatoes. Bo Charters and Tim Pratney were fellow flyers, friends of long standing. Tim had been with Kip in the Lafayette Escadrille, the squad of American volunteers who had flown for France in the war. The two of them had been among the very few survivors of that group. They shared memories, a love of flying, a friendship that was bonded in steel, a camaraderie that would last a lifetime. "That's okay, isn't it?" Kip asked. "Sure," Kara said over her shoulder as she headed for the kitchen. She took some potatoes to the sink and began scrubbing them, her mind still occupied with Aunt Garnet's coming visit. For as long as she could remember, the old lady had caused ripples. Garnet had never gotten over being the prettiest belle in Mayfield, a pampered daughter and wife used to having her own way. She still liked to have her own way, even if it meant manipulating other people's lives. Poor Brienne. She was probably in for it this time. Kitty Traherne took the turn off the highway, drove through Main Street, then onto the familiar country road. Her neck felt tight and her back ached. The drive from Williamsburg was long and depressing. So much of what had been quaint and picturesque about the countryside seemed to have vanished. Of course, Rockefeller money was restoring Williamsburg to its colonial beginnings, or so it was rumored. But Mayfield looked dreary, its buildings drab, run down. The Depression had taken its toll, and there was no northern multimillionaire interested in a small, out-of-the-way rural Virginia town of no particular significance. It was late afternoon when Kitty started up the winding road that led to Montclair. Halfway up, she drew to a stop. A turn to the right would take her to Eden Cottage. So many memories of Richard and their life together there swept over her. Memories she did not feel strong enough to face. Someday, perhaps, she could go back there to live. But not yet. The last few weeks spent traveling, speaking, signing Richard's poetry books, relating to people almost constantly, had been exhausting. Now, with Aunt Garnet's arrival, there was the family reunion to face. What Kitty really wanted, really needed, was time to herself, time to think, to pray, to plan. Where did she go from here? With a sigh, she turned on the ignition, shifted, and drove the rest of the way up to the house. There, she braked and got out of the car just as the front door opened and Kara came running down the steps, calling, "Kitty! Oh, wonderful! I was beginning to wonder, but here you are. Come in. Welcome back to Montclair."